This is John Martinka, and welcome to the Getting the Deal podcast series. And today we're going to talk about airplane disasters and small business operation improvement. And you're probably thinking, what the heck is he talking about? An airplane disaster and business operations? Well, I'm recording this maybe a month after the incident on Alaska Airlines where a Boeing 737 MAX 9 had a door plug blowout. Of course, it made the headlines, and of course, it got all the pundits going, and all the excuses, and made Saturday Night Live, and all of that. And then a whistleblower came out, and the whistleblower said there really weren't inspections, and they used different tracking systems that don't sync with each other. Now, this goes back a ways, according to all the airline experts, to when Boeing bought McDonnell Douglas. McDonnell Douglas people came into senior leadership, and it was share price, share price, share price emphasis. And it reminds me of, it was before my time, but I remember reading about it. I was just a kid at the time when Lee Iacocca was way up at Ford. And then the finance people took over, and his line was, the finance people have no feel for cars. And it probably the same thing that happened at Boeing. So, what does that have to do with small business? Well, my client Rob bought a company. This goes back a long time, probably close to 20 years ago. It was a manufacturing business. They did customized products for people. And when he walked in, there were three different paper tracking systems. The sales department had one, the production department had one, and the finance department, the billing department had one. Now, this is 20 years ago. He still was able to put in something computerized, not nearly as fancy as what we'd have today, but it worked. It smoothed out operations. It allowed him to track inventory better and turn 200 some thousand of inventory into cash the first year. So, Boeing, small business, I mean, you'd think if small business could do it, Boeing could have a system where everything talks to each other. I've got a lot of clients who use programs like EOS to improve themselves and other programs too, of course. And I'm going to talk about a few things that really, to a business buyer, equal opportunity, and to a business owner slash seller, equal a higher valuation. Don't have management by checkbook. We refer to that as something where there's money in the bank, lots of money in the bank. We must be doing good. Uh, Duties, training, sharing duties. I have a client, they have about 40 some people in a manufacturing operation, and the owner says, of course, they have to know how to do more than just their main job because at our size, if someone's out sick or on vacation, we have to be able to cover it. Document your systems. It is so important, and it's one of the things that a lot of business buyers look for is that, legacy businesses doing it the same old way. They can come in with technology, they can document systems and improve productivity. Now, don't necessarily go by your gut feel. The data will back up what you think, or it won't. I mean, you may think, hey, sales are booming, salespeople are busy, their CRM shows that they got a lot of opportunities, but the data may show those opportunities aren't for 6, 9, 12 months. What are we going to do until then? And finally, my final example is a company we worked with. Two locations, different systems. The systems did not talk to each other. So at the headquarters, if they needed information, they had to call or email and get a report. Not exactly a great way to be running a pretty good sized business, pushing 20 million. So in closing, let me say, yes, we can talk about pushing share price. And I was talking to a client about this earlier this week. And I said, look, you put out a great product. You have an energetic sales force that gives you enough customers with which to use that product, sell that product to, and you will increase share value. Don't just concentrate on it just for it in and of itself. So this is John Martinka. Hope you learned something. And while small business in this case seems to be ahead of at least Boeing. Thank you for listening.